Hey guys, welcome to your English project for the week, okay? It's very important that you pay attention to this video because this is your instructions for the entire week. I'm getting out my schedule now so that I don't confuse. And now we make sure that we stick to what's going to be happening every single day, okay? If you look at Monday, right now you're doing your English Civil Rights Project video. You have two responsibilities today, which is sign up for what you want to research and research one article and do information sheet. And you're like, well, what are you talking about? Why are we doing this? What is this, right? So listen carefully and I will explain everything. What you need is all this stuff that I gave you in your packet, this little booklet thing, your scoring guide all the way until, let's see where it stops. It should be like, this is the last thing, right? You have all the topics here with links and stuff like that, and then you have some of these, okay? You also have some blank pieces of paper inside of your bag, inside of your packet I gave you. You're gonna need a white sheet of paper for this project. You're gonna need like two, because one to plan, or you can use another, like a different sheet of paper to plan, and then a nice one. I'm not going to accept this on notebook paper, any lines, anything with mancha. And I really don't want it super big. So if you like call me and say, can I do it on a cartolina or anything like that? No, not really. I would prefer you to do it on this so that you concentrate your efforts in a smaller thing so it becomes more artistic that way, okay? This is for an English grade, this is for a history grade, and this is also for an art grade, okay? So what are we doing? We are doing a civil rights infographic, okay? Infographic. What is an infographic? An infographic is information plus graphics in what's called an infographic to convey an idea, okay? Where you mix information plus graphics to get an idea to someone else in a creative way, okay? We're gonna be doing that with civil rights topics this week. So I'm about to show you a little super short video of what an infographic is exactly. I just explained it briefly in a sentence. Show you some examples of those so you know what you're doing. But these are the topics that you have to pick from. We learned last week about Martin Luther King Jr. He was part of the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement was in the 1960s, where many people came together in the United States of America to, without violence, try to change some of the injustices in the world. So you learned about Martin Luther King Jr. last week. You thought about some social injustices that you would want to change in the world. Those were to get you into the mindset of the civil rights movement, because February is Black History Month. That is where we take time to study African Americans. That's why you're studying it with Miss Haley. That's why you're studying this with me as well. Because, guys, let's be honest. We have spent, this world has been in existence for thousands of years now, and for those thousands of years, there has always been racism. And some of the people that have been the most victimized in racism are those that are African Americans, those with brown skin. And we, joke about it and everything like that, but it's, and I mean, we joke about it as like with you guys, playing around, but outside of you guys being friends and playing around with that, racism is very, very, very real. And it's not something that is funny. It's not something that is a joke, because God created us all equal, and he did not make our skin color to be the determination of whether or not you're better than someone else. God did not create countries or allow us to create countries and divisions like that so that we could say that one country's citizens are better than another country's citizens. He never intended for any of that. And African Americans have been victims for a very long time in many different countries of racism based on their skin, and that's ridiculous. And so I do support the fact that February is Black History Month, because it is important for everyone to learn how many people of the African American race have done amazing things to change the world, okay? Amazing things to change the world. And it shouldn't matter whether or not you're black or not black as to where you get in the world and how much influence you have inside the world. But there have been some serious injustices. In the United States today, guys, there are still injustices with racism. While I was home, it made me so sad to see how many times police officers have shot black people, African American people, for literally no reason. I saw a video of one man, he had mental issues, and so his family called the police department to ask for someone to come out to help them with mental problems. So that means that somebody that was certified, somebody that was knowledgeable in mental health issues should have been the one to come out to this house and help this man. But instead they sent a police officer that had no experience in that. And when the African American man came out of his house, he literally had nothing. He had no gun, he had no knife, he had no anything. And the man told him to put his hands above his head and then get on the ground. Well, the man put his hands above his head, showed him that he had absolutely nothing, but he wouldn't get on the ground. Well, he was mentally disturbed. The man was not a threat to the police officer, and the police officer shot him and killed him. They don't just shoot to get you down on the ground. They don't just tase you to get down on the ground. They shoot to kill. And for what? Why did he take that man's life? There was no reason for that. That kind of stuff happens today. That kind of stuff happened 2 weeks ago while I was in the States. And it shouldn't happen like that. So I think it is important to take a month to learn about African Americans and learn about what they have done to help society, what they had done to change the world. And Martin Luther King Jr., like I told you last week, is one of the coolest people in the whole entire world because he did it without violence. And he defended his belief and his philosophy that violence is not the answer because he loved God and he wanted his guidance from God. So I thought that was so cool. So what you're going to be able to do is you're going to pick an event or people that were involved in the civil rights movement as well, okay? And then you're going to do this infographic. So step number 1, you're going to go through this list and you're going to decide which one you want to research, okay? Because on Friday, we're going to come together and we're going to present them together on a Zoom call, okay? So that we all learn from some of these civil rights things that were involved in the civil rights movement, okay? So what you need to do today is you need to pick which one you want to do and then send it to me so I have to approve it before you start your project, which you start today, okay? Because you can't repeat. We don't want repeated projects, okay? So I'm going to stop the video really quick. I'm going to show you this infographic video, and then we'll come back and show you how to do it. So this will probably be a 2-part video, but it's going to get you ready for the entire week.
What's an infographic? An infographic is a combination of the words information and graphic. According to Merriam-Webster, an infographic is a chart, diagram, or illustration that uses graphic elements to present information in a visually striking way. Meanwhile, the Oxford Learner's Dictionary defines infographics as information or data shown in a chart or diagram, so they are easy to understand. So, what do these definitions have in common? In a nutshell, infographics bring together the best of data and visuals to craft a story or convey an idea more cohesively. Combining both data and visuals in an infographic can help make your information more striking, shareable, and easy to understand. The beauty of infographics is that they're versatile. You can share them on social media or attach them to an email. You can also embed an infographic on your website or print it out as a brochure or poster. Do you need numerical data to be able to make infographics? Not necessarily. You can make an infographic based on qualitative information, like when you want to explain a process, define an idea, or highlight differences and similarities between 2 or more concepts. The possibilities with infographics are endless. Ready to make beautiful, engaging infographics? Click the link on the description box below for premium infographic templates that you can edit in minutes.